Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to my recap of the season 4 finale of Power. The episode starts with Tarik talking to a detective with his parents. He's lying about how Raina got killed. He's saying that he didn't see anything. They found a man's shoe print in the vicinity, and Tarik is like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I do understand why he's lying to the detective. If there was some sort of dispute about whose version of the truth was the actual truth, the police would more likely believe Ray Ray than Tarik. I don't get why he's lying to his parents. You know that your parents be into nefarious shit. I feel like if there's anybody in New York City that you could go to and be like, hey, I was involved in XYZ and this crime happened and this lady got shot and I got scared and I ran, I feel like your parents would actually be most understanding. His parents, maybe they're in the shock phase of their grief until they got in the car, and after Tarik got out the car, they didn't really strike me as parents who just found out that their teenage daughter had been senselessly murdered. Tasha tries to get more information out of Tarik, and she says to Ghost, he lies the same way you do. Ghost is like, no, he's not lying. You know, Tarik wouldn't know what happened because it was a professional hit. The Jimenez did it. Tasha's like, wait, you got us back in the drug game? Ghost is like, don't worry, I'll handle it. And Tasha's like, this is not a handle situation. You can't fix this. Like, Raina's dead. Ghost is like, I'll take care of it. I won't rest until, her killer is brought to justice. And because this is some real hood shit, Tasha's not like, no, let the police handle it. She was like, well, don't get caught and don't get killed. Godspeed. So they go up into the apartment. It's a house full of people. I'm trying to figure out who let all these people in. I'd also like to know where Tasha's mother is. We ain't seen her in a month of Sundays, and I miss that lady. Everyone's there to comfort Tasha and Ghost. He just goes into the bedroom closet and puts on his hood. He ain't got time to be hearing about folks praying for the family and offer their condolences. He has work to do. Ghost hits Tommy, who is having an interesting day. He's on his way to meet his Sicilian family, and Kanan pulls up with the gun out, all rah-rah. Tommy's like, we don't have no problems, we're good. But Kanan is like, yo, 2 people tried to kill me. I got them in the trunk right here. Tommy, I usually think of as the craziest person on the show, but I can't even see Tommy pulling up on somebody with 2 bodies in the trunk. He happily shows Tommy the bodies like he's showing them like new golf clubs. Tommy gets a text from Ghost, and that's how he finds out what's good with Raina. Tommy texts Ghost to say that he's downstairs. Ghost dips from the apartment. No one acknowledges that he just rolled out. Maybe they know Ghost's life, so they know what he's about to go do. Ghost gets downstairs, and who would be there but his ex-mistress, Angela Valdez. Lady, you got some nerve rolling up to this man's house where he lives with his wife on the day that their daughter was killed. Angie found out about Raina's death because she was in a meeting at work doing Mike's old job, talking about a new assignment. Sax comes in and is like, hey, did you hear the guy we were investigating, James St. Patrick? Like, his daughter was killed last night. After the meeting, he goes in to talk to Angie, and he's like, yeah, we should open up the investigation again, because clearly this is a sign that he's into something, because if you're an innocent man who's not involved in any troublesome ways, why is your daughter getting killed? But Angela hopped her no boundaries, no self right up in front of Ghost's building, caught up with him when he came outside, stopped him on his way to meet Tommy, and was like, is there anything I can do? Tell me who you think the killer is. Please let me handle it. Don't take it into your own hands. I can't wait till they start rolling around in the bed again. I mean, I can, because it's not something that I really look forward to. It's coming, so might as well just get on with it. So later on, 50's getting the trunk of his car cleaned out. After talking to Tommy, he's come to the conclusion that Dre probably set him up. Tommy pointed out the Taino tats on the guys that 50 killed, and he knows that they had some affiliation with Dre because Dre was really cool with Cristobal. Kanan's trying to figure out what to do about that situation when he gets a call from Tarik. Tarik wants to know where Ray Ray is. As it would turn out, Ray Ray is somewhere in Queens, reading the police report that Tarik gave about what happened to his sister, which notably does not mention Ray Ray. Tarik's little girlfriend, Ray Ray's cousin, comes in the house, and he very casually mentions to her, I saw Tarik last night, and yeah, I had to kill his sister. Wait, what? He mentions it like, I got a flat tire. No, you killed a small child. And he's kind of freaking out because he notices that since Tarik didn't say anything to the police, He assumes that he must have said something to his father. I'm so confused by this storyline. Ray Ray seems to have killed the two guys that robbed the house and killed the white lady when Tariq was there. He killed them because he thought Tariq would tell his father and Ghost would come after all of them. He started this whole situation to avoid the wrath of Ghost, but then you end up killing his daughter in front of his son. I don't understand your logic, officer. He's talking about leaving when there's a knock at the door. It's Angela Valdez, because she just pops up everywhere. Angie wants to know why he was looking for Tariq at school. Ray Ray was like, well, yeah, 2 houses got robbed of students at the school, and Tariq was present both times, so he wanted to question him. I guess that's a solid enough reason, because Angie doesn't ask any additional questions. They start talking about Raina, and Ray Ray says how sorry he is that she died. Are you? Because you killed her. Ghost and Tommy, because they love to be in a warehouse, show up in one. Ghost is on some shoot first, ask questions later. They find the head of the Toros Locos. Ghost gets a nail gun from somewhere and literally nails the man to the chair. He starts confessing. He says that Dre set up Julio to get killed, so he just goes ahead and shoots him in the head. And Tommy's like, wait, not that Tommy wanted him to live. I think Tommy just wanted to do it himself. Back at the St. Patrick house, Terry shows up. Immediately, he and Tasha disappear into a side room. I'm like, did that not raise anybody else's suspicions? Does everybody know that Terry is the family lawyer? I didn't see any of these people sitting in the courtroom. Terry is deeply concerned. He says he wants to help. He says he loves Tasha. He wants to help find Raina's murderer. They just sort of brushed over him dropping the L-bomb. When Terry is talking to her about doing things on the straight and narrow, she's not really trying to hear that. Tasha's a hood chick. Terry asks where Ghost is, and Tasha's like, oh, he's out making arrangements. He knows who his client was, so he kind of reads between the lines, and he was like, yo, if y'all are into something criminal right now, it needs to stop. Tasha was like, I think it's time for you to go. Thanks. Tommy has tracked down Dre, and he's about to approach him when Dre suddenly approaches Ray Ray. Ray Ray wants to know where his money is, because Dre was supposed to be paying Jukebox, Ray Ray, and Kanan, what's like $50,000 each? It was some extraordinary amount of money. Dre hasn't been making his payment. Ray Ray says that he's been taping all their conversations and that he will turn Dre into the police if Dre doesn't deliver. Back at the St. Patrick house, the man of the hour, Tariq, is in the kitchen. He just looks out of it. Every time you leave the house lately, some woman or girl gets killed. This time, it was your sister. Like, you're kind of jinxed, sir. He goes and sits on the couch, and his little sister all of a sudden can talk. We ain't heard this girl say a word in 4 seasons of this show, and she wants to know, where's Raina? Somewhere in Queens, because that's the only place Kanan ever really goes. He and some friends are planning to take over Dre's drug operation. Dre don't know what's coming for him. I'm kind of worried about you, bruh. I mean, you deserve to die. I'm not, like, rooting for you. One of the guys Googles a picture of Dre and comes up on a picture of Ghost with a story about how his daughter was killed. He's the one that informs Kanan about Raina. Tommy, of all places to be, is in church talking to the drug dealing father who is one of the Primeros. Tommy feels really about Raina's passing. He was her godfather. He was obviously closer to Tariq than Raina, but he does consider Ghost's family his family. So the father is trying to, like, you know, pep talk him through it. And then he switches the subject. He starts telling father about how Dre killed Julio. This is just a very odd confessional. But he gets a call from Kanan and he has to roll out early. Kanan's calling because he wants Tommy's help to roll on Dre, but he also wants Tommy to know that Tariq called him asking about Ray Ray, and he thinks that that's who killed Raina. Good job, Kanan, for putting the pieces together for us. Ghost is also at church. When he told Tommy he was leaving to do funeral arrangements for his daughter, he wasn't lying. Councilman Tate had texted him earlier asking if he can meet up. Ghost meets with a minister who wants to do Raina's homegoing. He has big plans for it. It's going to be a huge media event. And James is like, yeah, I just lost my kid. I'm not really trying to turn this into a circus. And Tate's like, it's going to be a circus one way or another. You might as well control the narrative. Ghost is absolutely not feeling this idea. He calls Tate on his and Tate finally levels with him. Look, dude, the daughters of upstanding innocent men, They sleep peacefully in their beds. Raina's death is a clear indication of how you roll. And he also advises Ghost the same way Terry advised Tasha, and how Angela advised Ghost earlier. He was involved in some things in the past, to leave that there. Not that he's not trying to see Ghost locked up. He has plans that he's not trying to see derailed by Ghost criminal shenanigans. Tariq's little hood boo, she's hanging out in the apartment when Tommy storms in looking for Ray Ray. She gives up everything. She got real specific diming out her cousin. Well, he said he was going to DC, but he was going to make a stop in the Heights first. She was supposed to meet with Tariq the night before. Ray Ray went to meet with him instead. And this is the confirmation that Tommy needed, that Ray Ray is actually Raina's killer. Tommy calls Tasha and tells her that he knows who Raina's killer was. He says he's going to handle Ray Ray. At the house, Tariq is nowhere to be found. All these people in the house, and nobody saw the teenage boy whose sister just got killed in front of him. No one saw him slip out anywhere. Tariq went and took his mother's gun out of the safe. He's rolling around New York City with it. His first stop is to go see Dre. He wants Dre to tell him where Ray Ray is. Angie's at the office looking at police reports for Raina when there's a knock at the door. I never in a million years expected it to be Tasha. Tasha can't find Tariq. Ghost is not answering his phone. She needs to find her son. So she asks for Angela's help in tracking Tariq's phone. Smart move, but having to go to your husband's mistress and the chick who wrongfully prosecuted him and put your family through hell and ask for help, that took a lot of humility. That's a mother's love, because, girl, like, she must have been completely out of options to go ask Angie for help. Angela's Connect responds. They locate Tariq in Washington Heights. Angela warns Tasha on the way out that if James or Tariq kill Ray Ray, who is a police officer, that they're going to get the death penalty. Tasha is like, okay, thanks, got it, and rolls out. Tariq is headed to the address that Dre gave him. He has the intention of killing Ray Ray. It's noble. It's not smart. He's determined to avenge his sister's death, which he is responsible for. He rolls up on Ray Ray in the apartment and he shoots him. I was surprised because the gun was shaking all over the place. Tariq was scared as shit. He's seen 3 people killed in front of him, but he's never fired a gun. Right after Tariq shoots Ray Ray, Ghost comes in, Tommy comes in, Tasha comes in. I still don't know how all these people found the exact address. Did Dre tell all of these people? Mom is trying to make sure Tariq is okay. Dad and Uncle Tommy get to work rolling up the body. The family business is rolling right along. They hear sirens. Tommy and Ghost take the body out. Tasha takes Tariq back to the house. Angie and the crew roll up into place, but there's no body. There's a bullet in the wall, which Angela notices. Angie's not stupid. She knows what it is. Tasha showed up and had Tariq tracked to Washington Heights. She's gonna prosecute. Angie likes to do the right thing, the proper thing, sometimes, except when you're like killing your old boss. Tasha and Tariq get back to the house. Before she takes him upstairs, she takes him down to the incinerator and has him burn his sweatshirt so there's no evidence. Upstairs at the apartment, she gives him strict play-by-play instructions on how to basically not leave any traces of evidence. This is the game, and now baby boy is being inducted to it. He's part of the family business. Ghost is legitimately, he has tried very hard to get out of the drug game, and he just can't. I guess that's the adage that everyone always says about being a drug dealer. You either die or go to prison. You don't just leave the game and enjoy your money and live happily ever after. As it would turn out, Ghost was on TV giving an interview, being this upstanding community leader, inspirational figure for the Queens community. The girlfriend of the man he killed in the first episode of the first season hears his voice on TV. She goes to the FBI to report that this guy on TV is the guy that killed my boyfriend. It's quite inconvenient, but Ghost brought it on himself. You know, you've been a drug dealer for the last 15, 20 years of your life, and now you want to get on TV as an upstanding gentleman. Sir, what were you thinking? And Sachs, who wanted to pursue Ghost again anyway, takes this right up to the higher up, Angela's big boss, because Angela's out at a crime scene. I predict Ghost is going to be dragged right back into another trial. Remember earlier, Tommy met with the priest and he mentioned that Dre had taken out Julio? The father calls a meet with Dre and it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And Dre was like, oh, okay. and then kills the priest. They're sitting on the waterfront in Brooklyn, which single-handedly is the best view of the city other than taking the Q train over the Manhattan Bridge. Dre just stabs him in public and leaves the priest's body slumped over on the park bench. I know it's a drug-dealing priest, but it's still a priest. Like, Dre, you're going to hell. And Kanan and Tommy and Ghost are probably going to send you there with haste. But while he's alive, Dre has these master plans and these great ambitions to run the biggest goddamn drug organization that New York has ever seen. He meets with the remaining Primeros and he meets with the Jimenez. Little does Dre know that Tommy is sitting in a car watching. Oh, no, wait, Tommy and Ghost. Oh, no, wait. Tommy, Ghost, and Kanan. The three amigos are back together. They have teamed up to take Dre out. And they're probably bringing in Tommy's Sicilian family to help with the Jimenez. This is a mess. I mean, it's a good, juicy, amazing mess because the setup for season 5 is awesome. Dre doesn't stand a chance. There's no way he's making it through season 5. I would be surprised if he made it through episode 2. We'll see. And last but certainly not least, Tasha meets up with Terry in this empty restaurant. She tells him that she killed Ray Ray. I'm going to guess Tasha feels a lot of guilt for Tariq going so far astray. Terry tells Tasha flatly, he said, I could be your lover or I could be your lawyer. Tasha pulls out a check and was like, I want you to be my lawyer. So that's season 4 of Power. Great season. I could always do with less Kanan. I actually don't want Angie to die right now. I want Rotimi to have an amazing career as a singer, as an actor on another show. But as far as Power goes, my dude, you gotta die. So let me know what you thought about season 4. Let me know what you think about Tasha taking the rap for Tariq. I can't wait to see what the writers do with this story next season. This show is crazy. And I think the people in the writer's room are absolutely bonkers and need therapy, but don't get any until after you've written season 5. Maybe just wait until the end of the show, because I don't want y'all to get therapy and then everybody starts making logical decisions, because that's just not good TV. Thanks so much for tuning in for the season. I really appreciate everyone who watched. I really appreciate everyone who subscribed to the channel. Since I have you, go ahead and subscribe. Click the little button. Help me get to 10,000. And that's everything. Literally. Because the season's over. I'll see you next season.